Hello there guys, Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to do the second part of the series Summer Vacation Reads and Review. And those who have watched the first part, they know that it's a thriller time. But before diving into thriller, I must admit this thing that I have skipped 4 books in the last part, the romance books, as I was tired at that time. It was a hectic work day and was in the mood of driving the whole thing. That's why I thought that when I will be doing the thriller thing, I will cover those 4 books in that part. Okay, so first we will start those 4 books. With those 4 books, okay, these 4 books. Twisted series by Anna Hong. Okay, so the first book from Twisted series is this Twisted Love. These are 4 friends, 4 best friends. They are studying in Pryor University, and these 4 books are based on these 4 friends. Okay, every friend have a different story in this book. Okay, in this first book, the girl Awa is a very sunshiny, kind of positive and loving and caring kind of a girl, and Alex is a moody, broody billionaire. Okay, and he's owner of some, I guess, real estate company. Yeah, and Alex and Awa are poles apart. They don't have anything similar, they don't have anything in common, and Alex don't like girls like Awa, obviously. And one day what happened, Josh was going to Central America for some volunteer, kind of for medical volunteer, and he asked Alex for the favor to shift in his house. Keep an eye on, not keep an eye, but take care of Awa. Basically, Awa was not very much happy with this decision, and she was, in the starting, it was like a kind of rough, but when they find a common ground, they started having chats and kind of friendship, and then it blooms into love, and then everything, the rest is the history. But over here, the both protagonists, the female and the male, have a fair share load of their past anxieties and past traumas and all that stuff, and they're dealing with this as well in this whole series. In this whole book. I give this book around 3.2 rating. Okay, from this series we got the second one over here, Twisted Games. You see, okay. In this Twisted Games, the story revolves around Bridget and Rice. Okay, Bridget is Awa's friend. Bridget is Stella, Jewel, or our friends. Okay, so Bridget is basically a princess of Eldora, and proper princess, and Rice is her new appointed bodyguard, because the ex-bodyguard both went on paternal leave, and he fell into place. Rice came from on a contractual base from Harper Securities, and he started serving Bridget. Initially, they couldn't stand each other. They were literally head to head, and things escalated from there. And when they started growing on each other, they were inseparable after that. But he is a bodyguard, she is a royalty. Everyone knows that what happens next, right? So they fought for their love very hard and very smart. I must say, very, very smart move. But they did fought for their love, and they get each other and all that stuff. It's a very nice read. I must say, it's a very nicely laid book, and I will rate this one as a solid 3.6 or 7. Third book in the series is this one, Twisted Hate. Twisted Hate revolves around Jules and Josh. Josh is Awa's brother. Okay, so Jules, this is a book that revolves around Jules and Josh, and they're sworn enemy from the get-go. They are literally, as long as they know each other, they were literally enemies. Since they couldn't stand each other, they couldn't cannot be in the same room, cannot be in the same place for more than 5 minutes. It's just like that. They basically got together and started getting together in the story when Awa planned a trip to Vermont. Yes, some skiing resort or something like that, and she wants Alex to bond with Josh. Okay, Josh stonewalled Alex. Why? You will find in the end of the first book why he did that. But he stonewalled Alex, and he was on the talking terms with Alex, and that's why Awa wanted them to get together and to be like the old buddies they used to be and all that stuff. So Awa planned this whole trip and take Josh and Jules. Okay, so what happened when they were on the trip? They got together, they started understanding each other, they started getting the other side of each other as well, the side that's vulnerable, that have flaws, and that have insecurity. He was adamant for accepting the fact that he is falling for her. It kept on escalating, and in all this thing, Jules' dark past also resurfaced, and how she dealt with it, and how Josh dealt with it after getting closer and all. So all in all, this book is around 3.8 for me. So the last part over here in the series is this one, Twisted Lies. Okay, now the story revolves around the last girl in the group, Stella and Kristen. Kristen is Rice's best friend, as well as the owner of Harper Securities and many buildings as well. So he's kind of very rich, but a morally gray MMC. And Stella is a fashion blogger, though she is very shy, she is very introvert, she is very simple girl, but still she is a fashionista. And what happens is that Jules and Ava got a flat in the Mirage. How they get it? It was very expensive flat, but when Kristen comes to know that it will Jules and Ava, Jules and Stella are taking the flat, he literally dropped the amount, and he literally give the flat on the rent in the pennies, and then they started living over there. And it's a fake dating trope. They started fake dating for some purpose, and in that whole thing, there's a stalker as well who's stalking Stella. Yes, and how she dealt with the stalker, how she dealt with this whole fake dating, why they are fake dating and all that stuff, you will come to know when you are reading the book. But it's a very, very good book. So basically, if I have to rate this whole series, I will start with rating the Twisted Hate, Twisted Games, Twisted Lies, and then Twisted Love. Now we are moving to the next part. That is wait a second, I will drag the books over here. This is the thriller part over here. So first we will start with the famous series, not a series, a trilogy. These are the 3 books over here. Basically, a TV series also just came in from Netflix on this book, but I didn't like it. I totally didn't like it. They didn't serve the purpose. So well they plot, and they really ruined the whole thing. Okay. The first book, A Good Girl's Guide to. What happens in this book is there's this girl, Pip Fitz-Amobi, doing her EPQ research thing on this case that happens in her hometown, Little Kilton. There's this girl, Andy Ball, who is killed by her boyfriend, according to the police, and allegedly, basically. So by her boyfriend Sal Singh, and they were in high school when this thing happened, 6 years ago. And after chose this topic because she knows that Sal Singh is not the murderer, and she knows Sal Singh personally, and he was Salil Singh basically. He's a nice boy. He was a nice boy and all that stuff. So she wasn't buying the story. There was more to it, and she wants to investigate it. So she thought that it's the right time to dive into the story and to dive into the to research the thing. And she set on it, and then she started doing it, and she approached Ravi. Ravi is Sal's brother, and they set on this journey of exploring the truth. And while doing this dangerous thing, that they literally land in hot water as well many times. So for me, it's a 4.2 star. It's a nice thriller. It's intriguing. It's interesting. Okay, the second book over here, Good Girl, Bad Plot. Over here, this one. Okay, in this book, Pip was started doing a podcast for this whole this murder case that she solved in the first book, but she literally dropped the idea of doing this investigating thing again in her life because she left the days behind when she was doing those investigations. But things went south when one of her best friends, Connor's elder brother, got missing. Or whether he was abducted or he went on his own or whatever was happening, they didn't know. And it happened on the day of Sal Singh, Salil Singh, and Andy Ball's memorial day. So what happened then? Pip was in a confusion, and she was hanging that whether she should do it or not. It was a fight or flight situation. Obviously, she chooses to again dive into it. It was a very heavy book. This book, the second book for me, is a solid 3.6. Why 3.6 and not 4? Because it's a kind of a stretch more than necessary. Okay, that's why. Okay, the last book in this series, this one, As Good as Dead. Oh, I love this one. I just love this one. Oh. It has some special place in my heart. Okay, in this book, the Pip herself is getting stalked. Is being threatened. Yes. Pip is basically facing some kind of mental health issues from the second book as well, and now she doesn't want to do anything like that, but still she has to because she started receiving some weird kind of messages. I must read it for you. Or what's the message? Yeah. Who will look for you when you are the one who will disappear? So she's getting these creepy messages, all that stuff. Like Stalker was dropping hints over here and there, and she again dive into the thing to find who is the stalker. But as the things take a nefarious turn and Pip got tangled into the thing, whether she will be able to come out of it. So it's a very good book. It's a solid 4.5 star book for me, and it's a very nice read. Very nice read. You must read this one. Okay, the second most favorite thriller suspense for me is this one, Verity. Okay, in this book there is this girl, Lowen Ashlick, and she's a writer. She's a silent writer. She doesn't like the limelight and all those things, the press conferences and blah blah blah. So she's a silent writer, and she writes fair average good books. And then one day she got an offer because she is in financial ruins. So she got an offer from this man, Jeremy Crawford, who is husband of Verity Crawford, a very famous, very famous writer, that to complete the series left by Verity because she met an accident a few months ago and she couldn't complete the series. So Jeremy offered Lowen to complete the book series for her. For Verity. So after some reluctance and after some convincing from her manager and from Jeremy, she agreed to it. She moved to their house, basically Jeremy's and Verity's house, to look into the library and the notes and all that stuff. So she come to know the idea about how to write the book and all that stuff. But over there, she found Verity personal journal, and when she read it, voila, it was a kind of gut-wrenching, disastrous thing, whatever she read over there. And this was heavy. So for me, this is a solid like 4.5. A solid 4.5. So then the next one over here, one of my favorites from summer reads, summer vacation read, is this one, Silent Patient. Okay, in this thriller book, there is this girl. What her name is? Alicia Berenson. Yeah, I forgot the name because I read it in June. Yeah. So Alicia Berenson killed her husband, like shooting him 5 times in his head, like 6 years ago, and then she never talked to anyone after that. There is one physiotherapist, his name is Theo, and he wants to like literally investigate the thing. Basically, he doesn't want to investigate the thing, he wants to get to know Alicia and he wants her to speak and all that, because all the therapists and all those tried to make her speak, but she didn't. So basically, Theo like applied at that medical facility, the Groove, and he got appointed over there and he started like having sessions with Alicia, and finally Alicia spoke. Alicia communicated her things with Theo, and they get along and all that stuff. And when in this book you think that you're going in the right directions, you're getting the suspects, you're getting everything lined up and all that stuff, okay fine, we are going somewhere, boom, and it misled you in a way that you will be like baffled, because you won't be suspecting this person in your wildest dream to be the main culprit. It's just like that. So this is a 5-star. This one is a 5-star for me. Okay, so the last book that I have to review over here, wait, sorry, I dropped it, The Teacher by Freda McFadden. Okay, many of the people are like, they are so in love with Freda McFadden books and all, but you know, when I'm reading thriller, I'm reading suspense, I'm that kind of a reader. I want to be on the edge of my chair. But The Teacher is a slow build, but still I read her books because it has some element to it. Okay, in this book, The Teacher, there's this girl, Addie, short for Adeline, and she's believed to have an illicit affair with her ex-teacher, Arthur. And so now this year, she has been finding her place in the school, or her usual mojo, because she has been like, she isn't able to find her place in the school, and her best friend Hudson also like cornered her and is not like ignoring her and all that stuff. On the other side, there is this couple, Nathaniel and Eve. Nathaniel like to be called Matt, and he's a math teacher over there in the same school, and Eve is Nathaniel is English teacher and Eve is math teacher, yeah, and they both are teaching Eddie this year, and somehow Nat and Eddie got closer and they started having an affair, and Nat is very like ignorant toward his wife. It was a love marriage and all that stuff, but he in these 8 years he got very ignorant and all that, and then Eve find another love interest and all. Then the story escalates, and then things got like untangled, and then on the surface of things start coming up and all that. So you must read it if you are kind into a bit by bit like building of the story. But if you are into some fierce kind of thriller, that it will not serve the purpose. So for me, it might be a good book, but for me it is a 3. Okay, so that's that totally. And these are all the books that I read in summer vacations. Hope you find it useful. Take care. Adios.